These are 5 ab exercises that you need to be doing in your program. Let's not waste any time. Let's hop into it. What's up, guys? Welcome to the video. Today, we're going to go over the 5 best ab exercises that you need to be doing in a program, no matter if your goal is to get a shredded six-pack or if you're looking to strengthen your core. Because just like any other muscle group, your abs are a muscle that need to be trained, they need to be strengthened, and they need to be overloaded over time. So I'll show you the 5 exercises, I'll show you the progressions, the regressions that you can do. And I know a lot of you are thinking that diet plays a huge role in your abs and the development of your abs and having your abs able to show. And yes, you have to have a low enough body fat percentage for your abs to visibly show, but strengthening them and progressing them over time with these 5 exercises is going to help. But if you're looking for more information on nutrition and the specific amount of calories, the carbs, the fat, the protein that you need to be eating to either gain weight, lose weight, or maintain your weight, I actually have a custom form on my website where you can fill out that form and I'll do a free macro calculation for you. I'll tell you how many carbs, fat, protein that you need to be eating and give you a great place to start if you're looking for more guidance on nutrition. So if you're interested in that, I left the link to that down in the comments in the description below, or after you're done watching the video, just head over to fitgrindformula.com. You can fill out that form and it'll send you back a free macro calculation. With that said, let's hop into our first exercise. And our first exercise is going to be a great exercise you can do on either the rings or the TRX. It's going to work just as well on each, but the first exercise is called a ring push-up hold. Now there's progressions of this, there's regressions of this, but this is a great exercise and it literally looks like nothing. This exercise looks so simple, but it's funny, every time I show somebody this exercise, a new client or we're trying to progress to new movements, I show them this and like, oh, that's all I have to do. They do it and like, wow, that was super challenging. So all you're going to do is you're just going to hold a push-up position. Now, the goal with this is to practice neutral spine alignment. The goal is to keep your core braced, not to let your lower back take over. And that ring or TRX is going to add some instability. Now, if you can do 30 seconds and that's not challenging, or if you start at 30 seconds and it gets easy, what you can start to do is the progression, which is called a ring fallout hold. So now from there, what you're going to do is go to that push-up position like you did the hold from, but now you're going to add some dynamic movement where you're just going to move from your arms and you're going to let yourself fall out, not allowing your hips to come down, not allowing your back to take over or hyperextend. And this is a very progressive movement that you can start to do for reps. You can start to do for 5 reps, 10 reps, 15 reps. You could start to add all sorts of holds. The sky's really the limit with this movement, and is a great exercise you can add to strengthen your abs. Like I said, sit-ups, crunches, little Russian twist type movements. Over time, you're going to get stronger at those movements, and they're not going to be enough. You're going to have to do a ton of reps in order to add some sort of overload. So why not pick more challenging exercises like these 5 that we're going to talk about today, and especially the ring fallout hold, that you can strengthen your abs, you can create a stimulus, and is something that you also don't have to do 500 reps of to see the results you want to see. So first exercise, ring push-up hold. The progression is going to be a ring fallout hold. Biggest thing with this one is make sure that you're not letting your hips sit down and letting your back take over. And one cue that I always tell clients is imagine like someone's going to come punch you in the stomach, no matter what movement you're in, if you're in the hold or the fallout, and that's going to help you brace your core and not allow your back to take over. The second exercise is a single arm plank. Again, another movement that takes a classic exercise like a plank and progresses it. But why this is so good is because, one, you're going to be able to balance each side out, right versus left, because predominantly you're going to have one side of your core that's going to be stronger. But we're also going to work on anti-rotation here, which is also going to bring your obliques into the movement. And yes, we want to train your rectus abdominis, the six-pack muscles that people think of, and this will do that. But you also want to train your obliques on the side. You have internal and external obliques. And anti-rotation is a great exercise or a great movement pattern to incorporate into your workouts to help strengthen your obliques. So what you're going to do is you're going to get down to a plank position. You're going to center one arm up. And the wider the feet are, the easier it's going to be. The closer the feet are, the harder this is going to be. You're going to let go of one arm off to the side. And the big trick with this one is do not let your hips shift off to the side. If your hips shift, you're completely ruining the point of this exercise. So keep your hips pointed forward. Go as close as you can with your shoulders. And you're just going to do a ring push-up hold. Now, if you're really looking for a progression on this one, you're like, this is easy. I can hold it for 30, 45 seconds to a minute. You can lift one foot up. Now, what you want is you want to cross. So if your left arm is down and your right foot is up, you want to lift that left foot up off the ground. This is going to make that a lot more challenging and is going to be a great progression that you can do. And like I said, this is a great exercise because you're going to be able to balance right versus left and make sure that one side doesn't get stronger, which is going to help prevent injury and things down the road. The third exercise is a new one that I've been playing around with, but I really like for a couple reasons. And the third exercise is called the back supported hanging leg raise or hanging knee raise. And this is really similar to a Roman chair leg raise. And it's really good because it's going to keep it really strict. It's going to take out a lot of momentum and a lot of movement that you can get, but it's also really great because you can start to load this movement and it really takes out a lot of hip flexors. So what you're going to do is you're going to take a bar, you can put a hip thrust pad over it or wrap up a mat over top of it so it's not just your bar on the back. And you want it about mid back to low back, not quite on that low back, and it's going to keep you out in front. It's going to keep you doing a really strict leg raise. Over time, you're going to be able to start to do 10 to 15 reps with your bent knees. You could start to straighten your legs out. You can start to slow the eccentric down. Or one thing that I like to do is I like to add a dumbbell between my feet. And just like any other muscle group, your abs are a muscle that need to be strengthened. And if you're looking to grow big biceps, you wouldn't do 10 pounds for 50 reps for 100 reps, would you? You would start to add weight over time. You try to get stronger, and your abs are the same way. That's exactly why this list of 5 exercises is important, because you have to overload in some way, shape, or form. And this is a really good movement that you can do that. Now, again, keep things really strict. I would start off using, 10 pounds, 15 pounds, 20 pounds, and keep the movement really strict and make sure that we're not using just the hips to lift it, that we're keeping our legs out in front of ourselves, and we're just lifting with your abs. The fourth exercise is one exercise that you have to do to train your obliques fully, and that is a cable wood chop. If you're not rotating and you're not incorporating movements that include rotation in your program, you're not going to train the full function of your obliques. So your obliques work to laterally flex your torso, they work to rotate, they're working at anti-rotation like we talked about earlier. So this is a great movement to strengthen obliques. And most of the time, you're going to have one side that is going to be stronger than the other, and that's pretty typical with your core muscles. So again, this is a really good exercise that's going to be unilateral, right versus left, that's going to help you strengthen both sides of your core. I would try to set the cable right about shoulder height or slightly below shoulder height, and you're going to focus on keeping your arms locked out and just rotating in your torso. So we don't want the arms to take over. We don't want to just move the weight with our arms. The arms stay locked. And imagine like you didn't have the ability to move from your elbows and you're just rotating, kind of slightly working down, and you're just using your opposite oblique to do the work. I would start to do 10 to 15 reps and again, start to add weight over time because as your abs get stronger, you need to keep adding weight or some sort of progression in order to keep strengthening your abs and keep making progress. The fifth and final exercise is a classic exercise, but is a great movement because again, you can load your abs, and this is the cable crunch. And with this movement, it's in a lot of people's programs. It's kind of a staple, but why it's so good, again, is because you can start to add weight over time. You can get stronger in your ab muscles without having to add 20 reps, 30 reps, 40 reps, 50 reps. So it's a great movement that you can use weight and help your abs develop and get stronger. Now, what I see a lot of people do with this is I see them do it wrong. And what we want to think of is we want to think of the difference between a sit-up and a crunch. So we don't just want our body to come straight down. We actually want flexion in your torso. So you want to have a crunch type motion. You don't want to have a sit-up type motion. At the bottom of each rep, what you really want to focus on is actually squeezing your abs as hard as you possibly can. So a lot of times when we start to add weight to exercises, form can tend to get a little sloppy. Still add weight. Your tempo, I'd try to have an explosive concentric when you come down. And then at the bottom, try and hold it for a second, squeeze your abs as hard as you can, and then let yourself come back up nice and controlled. Again, a great movement that you can add that you can structure into your program. And all 5 of these exercises are really great exercises that are going to help you overload. You might not be super strong at them to start, but over time, you're going to start to notice that these are going to build strength. And that's going to help you not only develop the six-pack ab muscles that a lot of people are looking for, but it's also going to help you develop core strength, which is going to help you in your strength training in general. So anytime we're doing a deadlift or a squat or an overhead press or any type of big compound movement, if we have a weak core and we're not able to maintain core alignment and we use our back to throw our back out when we're doing a back squat or a deadlift or an overhead press, you're going to run into injury. So core work, yes, is one of those things where it's cosmetic. It's, we want to make sure that we're developing our core muscles, but it's also functional too, to where developing core strength over time is really important because it's going to help you avoid getting into compromised positions and using the wrong muscle groups and eventually getting injured. And if we get injured, we can't come into the gym, we can't make progress. So core strength is important. And I hope this video shows you that you should pick other exercises than just sit-ups and crunches and things that you have to add a ton of reps to. You can use these 5 exercises and structure them throughout your week and focus on getting stronger over the course of time, just like you would on a bench press or a pull-up or a squat. Use that same type of mentality, and I promise you're going to see the changes in your abs, and you're also going to see changes in strength, and it's going to carry over to your big compound movements, allowing you just to lift more weight, stay in better positions, and just decrease the risk of injury. So if you guys have any comments or questions, I love to help out any way that I can. Just let me know down in the comments section below. And like I said, if you're looking for more structure with your nutrition, I have that free macro calculation on my website. The link is in the comments in the description below, or head over to fitgrindformula.com and you can fill out the form, and I'll get you back your macros for free. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, hit that thumbs up button for me. Go check out these videos next, and I'll see you guys in the next one.